Okay, so this is the last part of a question that are involving diagrams, right? So now we have a question that if sine theta is equals to, we have also with it's not a variable, it's not a number, but it mixes the number and the variable. So yeah, and it's 7 marks. So we have to use the diagram or whatever information to prove that the two sides are equal. Le ngizovala ngayo because ngibona interesting yabona vele iqala ngo-if or ngo-given yabo. Yeah, ukuthi ibone ukuthi yenziwa kanjani mohlangana ne-problem eka-so. So I'll remove le part le sizoyibuyisa. Okay, first things first. If sine theta is equals to 2n over log, so we draw a diagram. Why is it draw a diagram? Ingoba sibonela ukuthi if and sabona ilapha restriction yabo ukuthi kumele sidraw between 0 and 90. So let us sinikeze a hint yokuthi kumele sidraw i diagram. I-angle yethu lapha it's theta. Ngithathe le mark engathi incanyana. I-angle yethu lapha u-theta, and then la must check again sine. It's opposites over hypotenuse. So now opposite ka theta is 2n. The hypotenuse is n squared plus 1. So we must use Pythagoras theorem to get this one. So in Pythagoras theorem, it's x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. X squared sifuna yena y nanga. Should to 2n over squared equals to r nanga lapha. N squared plus 1 all squared. Okay, we bring down x squared lags over equals to loyana, si multiply out, uzobuba loyana n, must multiply out, it's like sivulema bracket out 2, yabo. Should we have n squared plus 1, n squared plus 1, sivulema bracket out 2, and then we multiply out, yabo, we multiply out. So if we multiply out, we're going to get n raised by 4 plus 2n squared plus 1. Low 2n squared a jumping on 2 squared, so 4n squared. You're the party jumping on. So must check allow we're going to have x squared equals to must born allow a low n raised by 4 zobuya jobenjalo. Low minus log zobuya 2n squared plus 1. So last x squared, so we can factorize. So it's a matter of simplify for ukuthi ngizofaka answer esimplified lapha. Yabo? So mang factorize lena, it's going to be n squared kube no 1 no 1, kube no minus no minus. So n squared times n squared yaphuma n raised by 4, 1n squared minus 1n squared minus 1n squared yaphuma minus 2n squared. 1 times 1 yaphuma 1. So now we have x squared equals to, so remove the part here. So now we have n squared minus 1 all squared, because n squared minus 1 by multiply. So sifake square root, kusala x olingana no n squared minus 1. Therefore says go to x wethu bani n squared minus 1. So the diagram yethu isiphelele. Yabo? So my mistakes ayenzakala ngesambela. So my isiphelele diagram is, so we're going to take one side and substitute and simplify it until izibukeke njengelinye side. So obvious uthatha lo ngoba unabo sine nabo cos so esingathola ama answers kuwo lapha. So we have 1 plus sine theta all over cos theta, and this is our left hand side. So we have 1 plus sine theta, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, should it's 2n over n squared plus 1 divided by cos it's adjacent over hypotenuse, should divide by n squared minus 1 all over n squared plus 1. Right? So we know once I told fraction plus fraction or refraction minus fraction. We know ukuthi la 1 it's 1 over 1 ne. So always wabona ama fraction awu2 hlanganisa look for LCD yabo and add them together or subtract them together if kune minus a sign. So lana ke must add the letter together. We look for LCD. LCD we know we multiply our denominators together. So x squared plus 1. Esikufaka la we know ukuthi lo multiply by lo kuzoba n squared plus 1 ongena lana 1 times lo kuzoba plus 2n. Lo once waba ne fraction divide by fraction. Right ukuthi ungafaka ama division line amaningi. Fraction divide by fraction yathatha lo beyiceleni. So la ngizofaka le division line imi kanje. So sine s squared minus 1 divided by n squared plus 1. Right? So we can factorize the parts ephezulu. Or maybe we can change first let division sense to multiply. So now we have n squared plus 2n plus 1 divided by n squared plus 1 multiply. Once we change the divide to multiply, change our numerator, denominator, numerator. So large to say so n squared plus 1 divided by n squared minus 1. So law divide the loyano. So its top part we can factorize the top part. Must factorize is over no n, no 1, no plus. Let's factorize the top part. The bottom part, the bottom part is a difference of two squares. Now we can factorize it n 1 minus plus because it's a difference of two squares. Law divide the law phezulu kusala n plus 1 ngaphansi kusala n minus 1. So therefore the right hand side iyalingana ne left hand side. Sesiprovile ukuthi lo uyalingana lungana. No? Right. So sesobhala lo number 2 keke. See ukuthi yonimele senze. So now we're given and let's listen. If sine x minus cos x is equal to 3 over 4, ne? Calculate the value of sine 2x. 5 marks. So okay, lana again we don't have to draw a diagram, ne? The values in open algebra, ne? Maybe if something equals to something, uzomela uzama ukuyishintsha. Uyishintshe until right uzo ube nento kanje. Ma usunento kanje usuyazi ukuthi oh you can replace something, yabo. So mase uzama ukushintsha lo until size sibe no 2x. Right? No sine 2x, sorry. So now we're gonna have sine x minus cos x equals to 3 over 4. If we can square both sides. Yeah, squaring both sides is like are we changing value yesibalo. We change it how isibalo looks. Right? So manje lana we know ukuthi masifaka squared la sivula ama brackets awu2, so we have sine x minus cos x. Yabo sibe la nobani no sine x minus cos x. Ngale 3 squared it's 9, 4 squared it's 16. Now, so lo na lo it's sine squared x, lo na lo yaya minus sine x cos x. Lo na lo it's minus sine x cos x, lo na lo it's plus cos squared x equals to 9 over 16. So I simplify njalo le lo na lo will make 1. It's the square identity. Sine squared plus cos squared equals to 1. Bese la kusala sine x or bese sine x cos x, sine x cos x, they are like terms. So minus sine x cos x minus sine x cos x is minus 2 sine x cos x. It still equals to 9 over 16. So this is a double angle sine. So we can change it and write it double angle. So we're going to have 1 equals to sine 2x. This is a double angle sine. Equals to 9 over 16. Then we can solve for sine 2x. Or let me just say sine 2x equals to 9 over 16 minus 1. Then we divide by minus, bese siba nobani no sine 2x, which will equals to leyo number leyo. So la it's a 9 over 16 minus 1 equals to divide by negative 1. It's 7 over 16. It's 7 over 16. So if you look at sine 2x, it's 7 over 16. So on the comment section, please post any trick equation that you've never seen before. Maybe it was the first time seeing it, and then I'll make a video of it. Thank you.